Good morning, dear friends. As a new day begins, I pray you rest in God's peace and receive the blessings He has prepared for you. If we want His grace to cover and protect us, we have to choose God. Yet choosing Him is not always easy. Do you feel that too? Still, with steady hearts, quiet trust, and a simple plea for His providence, we can choose Him again today and in every hard moment. Now let's enter this morning prayer together. You wake to a quiet you didn't earn and a mercy you couldn't buy. And somewhere inside that hush, a question is already waiting. Will you choose God again today, even when it isn't easy? You know how yesterday tugged at your sleeves with hurry and noise, how doubts spoke in clever tones, how old fears rehearsed their lines. Yet here you are, heart still beating, grace still arriving on time. Begin here. You are seen, you are held, and you are invited, not to perform, but to belong. Choosing God is not a performance, it is a return, and you can return now before the rush, while the morning is tender and the room is still. You don't have to force anything heroic. Speak simply in your heart, in the language you actually use, and place this entire day into His hands. You can surrender the weight you've carried, the pressure to fix everything, the ache of past mistakes, the tight knot of what-ifs, and entrust it to the one who knows what to do with it. Trust is not pretending you feel strong. Trust is placing your real weakness where real strength lives. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and He will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. That promise doesn't erase the hills ahead. It gives you a way to walk them. If part of you feels torn, one foot in faith, one foot in fear, acknowledge it without shame. God does His best work with honest hearts. You can name your resistance, the habit that keeps calling you back, the anxiety that eats the edges of your peace, the comparison that steals your joy. Bring it into the light of this morning. You are not scolded here, you are shepherded. Ask for the quiet courage to take the next faithful step, not all the steps at once. Ask for the grace to choose what is true when convenience is louder. Choosing God in small moments often looks ordinary, answering kindly when it would feel good to win, closing your mouth before a rumor leaves it, honoring a boundary you promised yourself, making space to pray when the schedule argues. These are not small in heaven. These are the way a life is slowly turned toward the light. You may be thinking of the people who need you, the inbox that multiplies, the bills, the uncertainty, the body that doesn't feel the way it used to. God is not indifferent to any of it. Place your family on the altar of this morning. Place your work, your finances, your health, your plans, your hopes, your disappointments. Place your past, the parts you celebrate and the parts you would erase if you could. Place your future, the scenes you cannot see and the doors you cannot open by yourself. There's a cross at the center of your faith, and it tells the truth about love. Love goes first. Love bears. Love stays. You don't have to hold the world together. You are held inside a love that already did. Breathe and say yes again. Say yes for the next 10 minutes, and then the 10 after that. Ask for a wide, patient heart, one that listens before it rushes, one that doesn't fear slow. Ask for holy resilience, the kind that doesn't deny pain, but refuses to bow to it. Ask for a healing that moves deeper than symptoms, down to the roots that started it all, to the story underneath the story, where God is gentle and thorough. If there is someone you must forgive today, or someone you must ask forgiveness from, fold that courage into this prayer. Mercy, is the oxygen of the soul. As you receive it, you'll find you have some to spare for others, and the air around you becomes easier to breathe. Colossians 3:13. If a particular fear keeps circling your thoughts, do not negotiate with it. Hand it to God as many times as it returns. You are not failing when you have to surrender again. You are practicing love. And love, like every craft worth learning, asks for repetition. Tell God where it hurts and ask Him to meet you there. Ask for wisdom where decisions are foggy, for strength where you feel thin, for rest where you feel chased. Ask for holy desire to want what He wants even when desire is still waking up. If you are waiting for an answer, you are not forgotten. Waiting is not wasted in His hands. It is where trust grows roots. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. Now take this day and imagine it like a path warming under first light. See your conversations before they happen, your errands, your meals, your work. Sprinkle blessing ahead of you like seeds. Ask God to make your presence safe for others, your words clean and nourishing, your boundaries kind and firm. Ask for the eyes to notice the person who needs 5 extra seconds of patience, the coworker hiding a hard night behind a normal smile, the family member who needs a soft landing. Ask for a mind guarded from the spiral of anxious narratives, set instead on what is true and good and of God. You are not trying to be impressive. You are consenting to be faithful. If you feel disqualified by what you've done or what you failed to do, hear the truth. Grace specializes in the unqualified. The shepherd does not count the missteps. He carries. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, how 1-3. Restoration is not cosmetic. It is structural. God can reframe your story from the inside out, not erasing your scars, but teaching them how to witness to mercy. Ask Him to do that in you today, to turn regret into compassion, fear into prayer, impatience into steady love. And when the day surprises you with something heavy, you already have a plan. You will pause, you will breathe, you will choose God again, not because you feel brave, but because He is faithful, not because the road is smooth, but because He walks it with you. Choosing God doesn't always look like fireworks. Usually it looks like a quiet fidelity that stacks minute upon minute until a life is built. It looks like showing up to prayer when your feelings slept in. It looks like telling the truth. It looks like showing mercy to the person in the mirror and the one across the table. This is how hope becomes practical and how resolve learns to sing. So receive this morning as gift. Receive the strength you didn't manufacture, the forgiveness you didn't deserve, the wisdom you couldn't figure out alone. Ask for a heart that returns quickly when it wanders, and a mind that refuses to be discipled by fear. Ask for the Spirit to move through your ordinary like wind through barley, unseen, undeniable, steady. If tears come, let them be prayer. If laughter finds you, let it be gratitude. If silence meets you, let it be presence. You are not alone in any of it. God is nearer than the breath that speaks His name. And now, step into the hours ahead with a quiet yes. Choose God when it's simple. Choose Him when it's costly. Choose Him in the drive, the hallway, the inbox, the kitchen, the meeting, the text you'd rather avoid. Choose Him in the thought before the word, in the pause before the decision, in the surrender before the sleep. Morning has opened its hands to you. Place your life in the hands that first opened for you. May peace guard you, may courage steady you, and may love, His love, lead every choice you make today. Morning keeps unfolding like a slow curtain, and inside that softness, you are given one more chance to choose where your heart will lean. You don't have to have the whole day solved. You only need enough light for the next faithful step. Say inside, as honestly as you can, that you want God more than the easy escape. That single wanting is already prayer. When memories tug you toward old patterns, don't argue with them. Bring them with you into grace. You can walk forward without pretending the past didn't happen. God does not require amnesia to begin again. He asks for your consent, here and now, to be led. If shame tries to narrate your story, answer with truth. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a person being loved into wholeness. In the hush between breaths, picture your worries as stones in your hands. Name them softly. The deadline that crowds your chest, the conversation you fear, the loneliness you don't admit out loud. One by one, set those stones down at God's feet. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are exchanging control for trust. The ground will not swallow you. Grace will hold you. Some choices today will hide in ordinary clothes. They will look like the tone you choose for a text, the way you answer a careless remark, the minutes you guard for prayer when everything begs to be urgent. Choosing God in these moments is not a grand gesture. It is a quiet loyalty that keeps your soul aligned when no one is clapping. This is how character learns to breathe. If your mind starts sprinting toward the worst-case scenario, slow it with a whisper of gratitude. Name what is good, even if it is small. The light on the floor, the steam rising from your cup, the strength returning to your body, the friend who checked in, the mercy that met you in yesterday's mess. Gratitude does not deny the ache. It widens the frame so you can see God moving inside the scene. There will be people who test your patience today. Before the moment arrives, bless them. Ask for the gentleness that corrects without contempt, for honesty without sharpness, for firmness without pride. You are not responsible for anyone's entire journey, but you can choose to be a safe place where truth and kindness meet. That choice is a prayer with sleeves rolled up. When fatigue leans heavy, remember you are allowed to rest. Rest is not a failure of devotion. It is part of it. Resting in God is how you keep from mistaking your limits for defeat. If you need a pause, take it and breathe His name like a harbor word. In the silence that follows, listen for the quiet reassurance that your worth was never tied to your productivity. On roads that feel foggy, ask for a small signal, and then act on the light you have. Sometimes faith looks like waiting with open hands. Sometimes it looks like taking the next right step while the horizon stays hidden. You don't need the map to trust the guide. Courage grows when you move at the speed of obedience rather than the speed of anxiety. If grief sits beside you this morning, fresh or old, make space for it. Tears are not a betrayal of faith. They are evidence that you loved and were alive to what mattered. Hand your sorrow to God without tidy conclusions. Ask Him to weave it into mercy you can someday share, to shape it into compassion that recognizes another's pain before a word is spoken. There may be a door you want to force open. Lay your hand on the handle and then lay the outcome down. Ask for the strength to knock with humility, to wait without bitterness, and to walk away without resentment if this is not for you. Choosing God means wanting His will even more than a yes. That desire, though costly, is where freedom begins. Think of your body as an instrument tuned for praise even in quiet rooms. How you carry yourself can become prayer. Steady shoulders in turmoil, a softened jaw in conflict, eyes that meet another with dignity. Your posture can tell the truth that your heart is learning. You are cared for, you're not alone, and you can afford to be kind. When midday comes and the edges of your resolve start to fray, return to the simple words that steadied you this morning. Repeat them like footfalls on a trail. I choose God. I choose truth. I choose mercy. I choose the slower yes of love over the fast comfort of fear. Repetition here is not empty. It's training your soul to remember what matters when noise gets loud. If success finds you in some task, receive it without clutching. Say thank you and keep your hands open. If disappointment arrives, instead, do the same. Success is not proof of God's nearness, and disappointment is not proof of His distance. His presence is the steady note beneath every chord change. You can keep in tune by staying close. Consider the people you carry in your heart, the one who is sick, the one who's wandering, the one who can't forgive themselves. Speak their names in your spirit and bless them. Ask God to surround them, to guide them, to heal them in ways your words can't reach. Intercession is love refusing to be small. It is choosing God not only for yourself, but for the world you've been given. When evening is still far off and you're tempted to count how much is left to do, choose a different measure. Count the moments of alignment, the time you paused before speaking, the message you softened, the task you offered up, the breath you turned into prayer. These are glimpses of a life being shaped by grace. These are victories heaven counts. And if you stumble, if impatience snaps, if fear shouts louder than faith, turn back quickly. Do not build a house around your failure. Confess, receive mercy, and step forward. The ground of grace is firm enough for returning feet. Holiness is less about never falling and more about learning which way to fall, always toward God. As the day gathers strength around you, ask for an inner steadiness that weather cannot touch. Let your hope root itself deeper than outcomes, deeper than applause, deeper than feelings that rise and recede. Hope planted in God does not ignore reality. It anchors you inside it, so you can work, love, and serve without being pulled apart by every wind. Now take your place in the story God is telling with you. Walk into rooms as a bearer of peace, into tasks as a steward of trust, into conversations as a guardian of truth seasoned with grace. Choosing God will not always look triumphant. Most days, it will look like a consistent yes, repeated in small, sturdy ways. But this is how a soul brightens a hallway, how a household finds new language, how a community learns courage. Carry this with you. You are allowed to start over as many times as it takes today. You can return to prayer at noon, at 3, at dusk, with the same open hands and the same simple request. Be near, guide me, make me faithful. The God you choose in the quiet will meet you in the noise, and the God you seek in the morning will still be faithful when the night comes. Keep saying yes. Keep choosing Him, and may your heart discover again and again that every costly yes is held inside a love that cannot fail. Amen. Morning keeps unfolding like a slow curtain, and inside that softness, you are given one more chance to choose where your heart will lean. You don't have to have the whole day solved. You only need enough light for the next faithful step. Say inside, as honestly as you can, that you want God more than the easy escape. That single wanting is already prayer. When memories tug you toward old patterns, don't argue with them. Bring them with you into grace. You can walk forward without pretending the past didn't happen. God does not require amnesia to begin again. He asks for your consent, here and now, to be led. If shame tries to narrate your story, answer with truth. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a person being loved into wholeness. In the hush between breaths, picture your worries as stones in your hands. Name them softly. The deadline that crowds your chest, the conversation you fear, the loneliness you don't admit out loud. One by one, set those stones down at God's feet. You are not abandoning responsibility. You are exchanging control for trust. The ground will not swallow you. Grace will hold you. Some choices today will hide in ordinary clothes. They will look like the tone you choose for a text, the way you answer a careless remark, the minutes you guard for prayer when everything begs to be urgent. Choosing God in these moments is not a grand gesture. It is a quiet loyalty that keeps your soul aligned when no one is clapping. This is how character learns to breathe. If your mind starts sprinting toward the worst-case scenario, slow it with a whisper of gratitude. Name what is good even if it is small. The light on the floor, the steam rising from your cup, the strength returning to your body, the friend who checked in, the mercy that met you in yesterday's mess. Gratitude does not deny the ache. It widens the frame so you can see God moving inside the scene. There will be people who test your patience today. Before the moment arrives, bless them. Ask for the gentleness that corrects without contempt, for honesty without sharpness, for firmness without pride. You are not responsible for anyone's entire journey, but you can choose to be a safe place where truth and kindness meet. That choice is a prayer with sleeves rolled up. When fatigue leans heavy, remember you are allowed to rest. Rest is not a failure of devotion, it is part of it. Resting in God is how you keep from mistaking your limits for defeat. If you need a pause, take it and breathe His name like a harbor word. In the silence that follows, listen for the quiet reassurance that your worth was never tied to your productivity. On roads that feel foggy, ask for a small signal and then act on the light you have. Sometimes faith looks like waiting with open hands. Sometimes it looks like taking the next right step while the horizon stays hidden. You don't need the map to trust the guide. Courage grows when you move at the speed of obedience rather than the speed of anxiety. If grief sits beside you this morning, fresh or old, make space for it. Tears are not a betrayal of faith. They are evidence that you loved and were alive to what mattered. Hand your sorrow to God without tidy conclusions. Ask Him to weave it into mercy you can someday share, to shape it into compassion that recognizes another's pain before a word is spoken. There may be a door you want to force open. Lay your hand on the handle and then lay the outcome down. Ask for the strength to knock with humility, to wait without bitterness, and to walk away without resentment if this is not for you. Choosing God means wanting His will even more than a yes. That desire, though costly, is where freedom begins. Think of your body as an instrument tuned for praise, even in quiet rooms. How you carry yourself can become prayer. Steady shoulders in turmoil, a softened jaw in conflict, eyes that meet another with dignity. Your posture can tell the truth that your heart is learning. You are cared for. You're not alone, and you can afford to be kind. When midday comes and the edges of your resolve start to fray, return to the simple words that steadied you this morning. Repeat them like footfalls on a trail. I choose God. I choose truth. I choose mercy. I choose the slower yes of love over the fast comfort of fear. Repetition here is not empty. It's training your soul to remember what matters when noise gets loud. If success finds you in some task, receive it without clutching. Say thank you and keep your hands open. If disappointment arrives instead, do the same. Success is not proof of God's nearness, and disappointment is not proof of His distance. His presence is the steady note beneath every chord change. You can keep in tune by staying close. Consider the people you carry in your heart, the one who is sick, the one who's wandering, the one who can't forgive themselves. Speak their names in your spirit and bless them. Ask God to surround them, to guide them, to heal them in ways your words can't reach. Intercession is love refusing to be small. It is choosing God not only for yourself, but for the world you've been given. When evening is still far off and you're tempted to count how much is left to do, choose a different measure. Count the moments of alignment, the time you paused before speaking, the message you softened, the task you offered up, the breath you turned into prayer. These are glimpses of a life being shaped by grace. These are victories heaven counts. And if you stumble, if impatience snaps, if fear shouts louder than faith, turn back quickly. Do not build a house around your failure. Confess, receive mercy, and step forward. The ground of grace is firm enough for returning feet. Holiness is less about never falling and more about learning which way to fall, always toward God. As the day gathers strength around you, ask for an inner steadiness that weather cannot touch. Let your hope root itself deeper than outcomes, deeper than applause, deeper than feelings that rise and recede. Hope planted in God does not ignore reality. It anchors you inside it, so you can work, love, and serve without being pulled apart by every wind. Now take your place in the story God is telling with you. Walk into rooms as a bearer of peace, into tasks as a steward of trust, into conversations as a guardian of truth seasoned with grace. And choosing God will not always look triumphant. Most days it will look like a consistent yes, repeated in small, sturdy ways. But this is how a soul brightens a hallway, how a household finds new language, how a community learns courage. Carry this with you. You are allowed to start over as many times as it takes today. You can return to prayer at noon, at 3, at dusk with the same open hands and the same simple request. Be near, guide me, make me faithful. The God you choose in the quiet will meet you in the noise, and the God you seek in the morning will still be faithful when the night comes. Keep saying yes, keep choosing Him. And may your heart discover again and again that every costly yes is held inside a love that cannot fail. Amen. Morning still hangs like a silver thread, and in that gentle light, you can whisper a simple promise. You will choose God in the ordinary things, not because you feel invincible, but because you are learning where safety truly lives. The road doesn't flatten, but your steps find a steadier rhythm when your heart leans toward Him. When work begins to crowd your chest, meet it with a quieter pace than yesterday. You can choose God by answering with kindness when friction sparks, by guarding a minute of silence between tasks, by letting a short prayer rise before you type or speak. No one may notice that holy pause, but heaven does, and peace settles where noise once ruled. If old habits start calling your name, you don't need to argue with them. Carry them into grace and set them down one by one. You are not being asked to erase your history. You are being invited to let God write the next sentence. Mercy doesn't flatter you, it frees you. And freedom, for now, might look like a single honest yes. On decisions that feel like fog, shrink the horizon. Ask only for light enough to see the next faithful step, then take it. Maybe it is an apology you've postponed, or a rumor you refuse to pass along, or 5 unhurried minutes to breathe and remember who you are. That kind of choosing won't make headlines, but it rebuilds a soul from the inside. When your mind sprints toward what could go wrong, return to what is already good. Name what is here and true, the warmth in your hands, the roof that held through the night, the friend who stayed, the quiet strength that surprised you last week. Gratitude doesn't deny pain. It widens the window so you can see God standing in the frame. Philippians 5:4-6-7. For the people who will test your patience, bless them before the moment arrives. Ask for words that fit like clean water in a dry mouth, for firmness without sharp edges, for honesty braided with gentleness. You cannot repair every story you enter, but you can refuse to add more splinters. That too is prayer with its sleeves rolled. If fatigue starts to dim your resolve, let rest be your act of trust. Lay down the myth that worth equals productivity, and let God remind you that beloved is your first name. A short pause is not you falling behind. It is you being carried. In that quiet, your heart remembers who holds the clock. When fear insists you need certainty to move, answer with obedience instead. You don't need the map when the guide is near. Take the step that aligns with truth, however small. Over time, those steps stitch together into a path, and you look back to find that courage grew while you were busy being faithful. If grief sits beside you like a familiar guest, make room. Tears are not disloyal to faith. They are the honest language of love. Hand your sorrow to God without trimming its edges and ask Him to turn it into a tenderness you can share. Pain can become a doorway, and on the other side of it, compassion waits. With the door you want to force open, hold it lightly. Knock without demanding, wait without bitterness, and if it stays closed, walk away without resentment. Trust in a better timing or a better door. Choosing God means wanting His will more than your yes, and that desire, though costly, unlocks a deeper freedom than any outcome could offer. Let even your posture become a prayer today. Shoulders soft when tension rises, eyes steady when accusation flares, a tone that tells the truth without drawing blood. These small choices tell the story your soul is learning to believe. You are seen, you are carried, and you can afford to be kind. When noon heat frays your patience, return to the words that held you at dawn. Whisper them like footfalls. I choose God. I choose truth. I choose mercy. The repetition isn't empty. It is training your inner ear to tune to the note beneath the noise, the presence that never leaves. Psalm 16:8. Should success brush your day, receive it with open hands and gratitude. Should disappointment arrive instead, receive that too without self-accusation. Neither one proves God's nearness or His distance. His love is the steady ground under both. Stand there and you'll find you don't rob or fall, with the headlines of your life. Carry the names on your heart into this prayer. Those you love, those who are lost, those who are difficult to love right now. Speak blessing over them in the quiet. Ask God to heal what you cannot touch, to guide where you cannot go, to comfort where words will fail. Intercession is your way of refusing to keep love small. When you stumble, and you might, turn back quickly. Do not decorate the place you fell. Confess, breathe, receive mercy, and keep walking. Holiness is not a spotless record. It's a well-practiced return. The ground of grace is firm enough for quick repentance and fresh beginnings. If anxiety circles like a hawk, shelter your thoughts beneath a simple truth. You are not the maker of the morning. You are the receiver. God has been faithful longer than you have been worried, and He will be faithful long after this moment passes. Set your pace to His faithfulness, not to your fear. As the day stretches forward, step into it as a bearer of peace. Let your presence make room safer. Let your words taste like clarity. Let your boundaries honor both love and truth. Choosing God won't always look dramatic. Most often it will be a quiet yes at the exact point where convenience asks for a no. Hold this near as you go. You're allowed to begin again as many times as needed today. The same grace that greeted you at sunrise will meet you at midday and follow you into night. Keep returning, keep choosing. And may the God you choose in the quiet lead every choice you make in the noise until your life itself becomes a prayer that keeps saying yes, amen. Dawn moves across the edges of your plans, and in that soft advance, you are free to answer again. Yes, God, I choose you today, not because the path is easy, but because your nearness is better than easy. Let this be the shape of your morning, a steady heart, open hands, honest words. Where worry waits by the door, walk past with a quiet surrender. Tell God the outcome is His and the effort is yours. Give Him the heavy peace you cannot carry. Keep the small, faithful peace that is yours to do. This is how a soul grows light without growing careless. When impatience taps its foot, slow the scene and let mercy set the rhythm. You can correct without contempt, decide without panic, and move without rushing your spirit ahead of grace. Choosing God here looks like gentleness under pressure, truth without show, love that refuses performance. Heaven sees what no one else applauds. If loneliness drifts in at odd hours, don't call it failure. Treat it as invitation. Place that ache where presence can touch it. Let God turn the empty chair into a reminder that you are never outside His attention. He knows the name of your silence, and He sits with it until it softens. On ordinary roads, emails, dishes, errands, watch for thin places where gratitude breaks through. Whisper thank you for the strength to try again and for the courage to rest. Gratitude widens your sight until you notice the help that has been here all along. Then courage feels less like force and more like consent. Should regret knock with familiar lines, answer with a practiced return. You don't need to relive every scene to be forgiven. You need a turning of the heart and a willingness to walk in newness when the door opens. Grace meets you at the threshold and travels with you down the hall. If a decision still waits without clarity, hold it as you would a bird, secure but not strangled. Ask for light enough to honor God and good enough to bless others, then step where peace is most at home. If peace does not rise, keep the question in prayer and your hands on today's work. As afternoon shadows stretch, Remember the vow you made at sunrise. I choose God. Say it again without shame. Repetition is how love learns endurance. Let the words carry you through the last hours like oars in honest water. Quiet, steady, true. Before this day closes its palms, gather what it gave you, the small fidelities, the hard pauses, the tiny mercies, and place them back into the hands that first offered them. You are not measured by flawless execution, but by a heart returning again and again to the one it trusts. Rest can be worship when it is offered like this. And to you, listening now, if this prayer steadied your steps, I'm grateful we met here. For more prayer and encouragement, please subscribe. Share with a friend who needs it, and drop a simple amen in the comments so we can pray with you. God keep you, God guide you, and God bring you back tomorrow. Peace be with you. See you in the next prayer.